Good evening and welcome to the Legends edition on KBC Channel 1. I'm Fayyaz Qureshi. Our sign language interpreter for tonight's edition is Byron Abuli. But first, a quick look at stories making headlines on tonight's edition.
We need to be patriotic about Kenya. That yes, we can disagree on policies, programs, on how to implement, but we should never disagree about the destiny of Kenya.
Government of National Unity. President William Ruto hints at a broad-based government with ODM leader Raila Odinga on board. Cleaning their mess, officers from Nairobi County government have moved in to fumigate KPLC premises in Steamer Plaza after dumping garbage and clogging sewers. Fit as a fiddle. Police officers at Pangani Police Station in Nairobi County treated to a free health wellness camp. Welcome back. President William Ruto has defended the formation of a broad-based government, emphasizing its potential to unite Kenyans and foster national development. Speaking at the funeral of Baringo Senator William Cheptumo, Ruto underscored the importance of setting aside divisive politics in favor of collective national effort. This call for unity comes just days after Raila Odinga's bid for the AUC chairmanship fell short, fueling speculation of a broader political alliance.
In an emotional tribute at the funeral of Baringo Senator William Cheptumo, President William Ruto advocated for a broad-based government aiming to unite Kenyans and promote development across the nation.
We need to be patriotic about Kenya. That yes, we can disagree on policies, programs, on how to implement, but we should never disagree about the destiny of Kenya.
The president's remarks echoed the sentiments of other political leaders who all rallied behind the idea of putting national interests above personal politics.
Sisi tunataka kumuhimiza rais wetu, like you have done, your excellence, reach out to everybody. That's your legacy. That you are leading a country called Kenya. Aliyekupigia kura, aliyekupinga, asiyekupigia kura, they're all under your leadership. You carry the mantle, you carry the leadership, you carry the aspirations, and you carry the dreams of this country.
It's those that are used to taking more than their share in this country that don't appreciate when His Excellency the President tried to make this country equal. I want to tell you, please, make this country equal, make Baringo as prosperous as any other part of Kenya, make Kilifi, Tana River, and every other part. That is your duty.
Ndio unaona sasa tumesema we have to be focused, tuunganishe Kenya mzima, kwa sababu hata mimi nikiuza ile maziwa yangu lazima nipate barabara ya kufanya nini, ya kupeleka ile maziwa kwa soko. Bila hiyo tunajipoteza.
Broad-based government works, Your Excellency. Broad-based government will be able to stabilize this country, and we support you. We have no time for division. We have no time for tribal chiefs. We have time for a progressive Kenya.
Ruto's call for unity and inclusivity comes at a time when political division is at its high, but stressed that a broad-based government will prioritize the needs of all Kenyans rather than narrow interests.
We all agree on the common issues. If you look at the manifesto of Kenya Kwanza, there was universal health coverage, there was housing. If you look at the manifesto of Azimio, there was universal health coverage, there was housing. There are some common issues that we can pursue with common interest for the people of Kenya.
Na sisi kama viongozi, ikiwa kweli tunataka Kenya hii isimame kama Kenya moja, tukome kugawanya Kenya yetu kwa misingi ya kikabila ama kwa misingi ya kule tunakotoka.
The late Senator Cheptumo, who passed away after a long battle with liver cancer, was remembered as a leader who worked tirelessly for peace and development, especially in the Kerio Valley.
Let me ask the people of Kenya to practice the politics of Mheshimiwa Cheptumo, of no hatred.
Cheptumo was a very straightforward man who suffered no sense of insecurity. He was free, even if he sees somebody else talking to the other, even if you are his competitor. This man was forthright. He would not worry because he was focused.
Leaders at the funeral used the occasion to call on Kenyans to strengthen the healthcare system, emphasizing that global responsibility for health financing is shifting to individual nations.
Let us pull together and figure out if there are any hiccups, how do we unite and sort and smoothen them? But the reality now is that there is no more money that can be doled around kugawagawa kwa mambo ya health kwa dunia hii.
Ben Chumba, Legends Edition.
The implementation of the Social Health Authority, SHA, has come under scrutiny, with a section of political and religious leaders reiterating their call to the government to streamline the program, citing inefficiencies that threaten service delivery to Kenyans. The concerns were raised during the Requiem Mass of the late Malava MP Malulu Injendi, whose leadership in education and governance was widely recognized.
Amid concerns over the inefficiencies of the new health funding model, a section of the political class and the clergy are now calling for the government's intervention in streamlining SHA operation.
Nowhere in the world has a country succeeded in rolling out universal health care through contributions of members only. The funding is by the national government. You cannot expect to give universal health care by relying on 300, 500 shillings donated by the members of the program.
Their concerns were registered during the Requiem Mass of Malava Member of Parliament Malulu Injendi, who was eulogized as a dedicated leader. During the Requiem Mass, parliamentary leadership described him as an astute legislator, with the clerk of the National Assembly urging members of Parliament to pick some of his impactful bills and push them through to completion.
Malulu Injendi was seated in a corner holding his rosary. And when dust settled, I asked him, Mheshimiwa, what was it? He said, I was simply praying for the nation and hoping that whatever passes is for the good of the nation. And that was the Malulu Injendi we will miss. Thereafter, because of the character we saw in him, he became one of those pillars that, as administration of Parliament, we would consult off the camera, off politics, whenever there are difficult decisions that need to be made.
Political leaders in attendance emphasized his commitment to governance, noting that he exhibited leadership from a young age and guided young members of Parliament.
He was a man of detail. When you think you're done in a document, you say, no, let's go back to page 2. That was Injendi. So, poleni sana, watu wa Malava, watu wa Kakamega, bunge yote na Kenya yote, we have lost a great man.
Yeye alikuwa vice chairman wa education committee. Ukikutana na yeye akishakusalimia anakuambia anything in education you want me to help you.
Family members, while mourning his passing, remembered him as a tough disciplinarian and a man of integrity.
In the morning, he'd wake up and he'd say, Mungu Baba, Baba, nisaidie. Baba, bila wewe, siezi. That was his trick. That is how he won his elections. No, people wonder, what did Moses Injendi do?
Tulitoka mbali, ndio maana mnaona mheshimiwa amekuwa akisaidia watu maskini. Amesaidia hata in October alienda akaona mahali mwendazimu analala, na akamjengea nyumba.
The remains of the MP, who passed away aged 59 years, will be interred at his home in Malava constituency. For Legends Edition, I'm Gladys Mungai.
Days after dumping garbage and clogging sewers at KPLC premises in Steamer Plaza, officers from Nairobi County government on Saturday moved in to fumigate the premises. According to Nairobi County Chief Officer Tom Nyakaba, the dispute between the county government and Kenya Power had been resolved. Nairobi County government was on the spot over its action to dump waste at the lighting company as the two locked horns over payment of pending bills.
On Monday, these were the scenes that employees and clients woke up to at Steamer Plaza. Heaps of garbage were dumped at the entrance, blocking access and posing a health hazard as well as leaving a stench. Fast-tracked to 4 days after the incident that captured national headlines. Officers from Nairobi County, in what can be described as literally cleaning up their own mess, arrived at Steamer Plaza to fumigate the premises. The exercise entailed clearing bushes and clogging sewers and fumigating the compound. Nairobi County Chief Officer in charge of Health, Tom Nyakaba, says that the exercise is standard and is meant to cement the county's relationship with Kenya Power.
What we are doing here specifically is to ensure that this place is properly disinfected and there is no public health risk or environmental risk for that matter. Number two, this is an ongoing exercise. It's not something we are doing for the first time. If you have been following up with this exercise, the governor, we have been cleaning up the city, and today we saw it good, having rebuilt our relationship with Kenya Power, that we also come here and do this exercise as a show of goodwill from the county government to all our agencies and stakeholders.
According to Nyakaba, the dispute had been resolved.
We have to ensure that all parties involved in the county, everybody do their part. If it's the county government, we have to do our part. If it's any other entity, they have to do their part. When it comes to issue of the rates, which were supposed to be paid from either party, I'm glad that that issue has been resolved. The relationship is very good, and we have never had serious issues with the Kenya Power at any given time. And whatever mishap was there has already been cleared through His Excellency the Governor and other agencies. And we don't have any issue remaining with Kenya Power, and we continue working. Kenya Power are customers in the city, we are customers also, and we continue building relationship with even other agencies.
KPLC had accused the county government of failing to pay power bills amounting to 3 billion shillings, while Nairobi City County government accused KPLC of failing to pay wayleave fees totaling to 4.8 billion shillings. Nairobi County has been faulted for endangering the health of residents by dumping waste at Steamer Plaza, and the courts ordered the immediate removal of the waste.
After hours of clearing bushes and unclogging sewers, the mess left behind at Steamer Plaza was finally cleared. However, the question that now lingers is how well government entities are equipped to handle any arising disputes. Nancy Okware, reporting from Steamer Plaza, Nairobi.
Police officers at Pangani Police Station in Nairobi County were on Saturday treated to a free health wellness camp. The uniformed men and women underwent essential health checkups, including screening, counseling services and wellness talks. Joseph Wakungu has the details.
Saturday morning at Pangani Police Station in Nairobi.
Na afya njema inaanza na nani?
It was a rare sight as the uniformed men and women gathered for a different kind of assembly, one that did not involve service to others. Today, they were the beneficiaries as a private health facility partnered with IPO to offer free medical services.
Police right now, I am under the impression, are going through a lot of hardships. There's a lot of cases you've heard. There have been of, mental anguish, police officers taking their own lives.
More than 80 officers turned up for the free checkup at the camp organized by the International Police Organization IPO Kenya, who acknowledged the immense pressure law enforcement officers work under.
We have seen all those situations and we want to assign them, we want to help them in getting all these unnecessary burdens from their head. We want to try and give them a stress-free life over here.
Speaking at the event, Deputy Welfare Officer at the Police Headquarters, Bishop Dr. William Sifuna, lauded the initiative, urging the officers to take care of their mental well-being.
The well-being of officers is in their hands, for them also to take an initiative or going for any consultation whenever they have an issue, because problem shared is half solved.
Healthcare experts who graced the occasion provided insights on mental resilience, lifestyle choices, and social support systems.
Good health begins with you. Lifestyle conditions or diseases are preventable, and if we do the prevention, we'll be able to reduce the costs that normally come alongside the same.
Organizers also hinted at plans to expand similar wellness camps to other police stations in the country. Joseph Wahungu for Legends Edition.
Right, it's time for a quick break, and we'll be back in a short while. Stay with us.
Inuka na loto moto sasa kwa star 570 hash option ya 4 kuna kashamba juja na nika 50 by 100 worth 1.7 million Kenyan shillings. Na hii si shamba tu, iko kwa prime location, few minutes from Juja town. Stima yako iko ndani, na kama ni development rapid and so promising. Na mambo ya landlord, mwisho wa mwanzo ni hapa. Ukishinda hili shamba tunakuongeza 1 million Kenyan shillings ujijengee nyumba yako kwa shamba yako. Kuinuka na loto moto ni kucheza sasa hivi kupitia star 570 hash option ya 4 au register deposit na ucheze sasa hivi kwa www.tushinde.com na ujishindie shamba hili na addition of 1 million Kenyan shillings. Inuka na loto moto.
Now, while marriage is often considered a sacred and binding commitment, statements such as divorce is necessary go further to acknowledge the fact that in certain situations, ending the marriage is the only viable option.
So there is the self-stigma. Apart from the social stigmatization, there is the self-stigma that you carry with yourself and the reality of I am a different woman. There is the pain of losing a partner.
I remember going to a judge's chamber and she looked at me and she's like, are you serious about what you're doing? And I'm like, I have waited for 4 years. You're asking me if I'm serious? Are you for real?
First, the immediate things are the things that come to fore. Am I running with my children? Am I leaving my children? And by the way, it's not bad to leave children. No, as long as they are safe.
Again, the famous book, which again, with insight, it's actually a very good book in the Bible, Proverbs 31, Woman.
Yes.
You know, and I'm not going to lie, I couldn't read that book because the society around me was like, you're not like this, you're not this, you're this. You know, Proverbs woman wakes up in the morning, Proverbs 31 woman, the husband is proud of her, and you're thinking, oops.
Tumekuwa kwa ngori ever since ianze. Hakuna kitu nakupatia.
Kila kitu iko sawa?
Yu ni mwizi. I think I need to leave.
Kuingiandaa ni rahisi sana, lakini kutoka ni uchawi.
I got your back.
Nimetafuta kwa bedroom yangu kila mahali na sioni.
Mara mwisho ulikuwa nayo wapi?
So how do we go about this?
I have worked so hard to get here, so I can't give up. Haiwezi.
Na hakafadi kwa gani? Kwani si sister yako?
Can I talk to you?
Mrembo, ongea tu.
Alone. Baba Jina amepiga na watu wa bank.
What? Sitiko makara mabeshte. Umesahau. Alex, unaona 2 steps ahead, eh?
Welcome back. A family in Thingithu in Nanyuki town, Laikipia County, is seeking financial support to help their kin undergo a life-saving operation. Beatrice has been undergoing excruciating pain that has seen her in and out of hospital, depleting her family's resources. Beatrice, who has been diagnosed with endometrial hyperplasia, is now pleading with well-wishers to help her raise money to undergo the surgery.
Meet Beatrice Mwangi, a 39-year-old woman and a mother of 2. She works with her friend Eunice, who has become her support system through this process. Telling the tale, the pain she and her family have been undergoing due to her condition. Beatrice narrates how she had heavy menses, which was at first termed as hormonal imbalance by the doctor. In 2023, her condition took a turn for the worse after she started having back pains and swelling of legs. This prompted an ultrasound scan and a pap smear test, which revealed that she had an infection in the uterus.
Kunituma ultrasound, kurudisha kwa daktari akasema niko na infection kwa uterus. Akanituma pap smear. Kunituma pap smear ikatoka negative.
The doctor then ordered for more samples from Beatrice, and after 2 weeks, it was established that Beatrice was suffering from endometrial hyperplasia, a condition where the lining of the uterus becomes too thick, causing abnormal bleeding. In December, Beatrice says she couldn't walk and had to be rushed to the emergency room due to severe back pains, an incident that necessitated that she undergoes an operation to remove her uterus.
Daktari mwenye nilipata tena akanituma pelvic TVS. Bado akasema hiyo infection iko, so solution akasema unless nitolewe cervix, nitolewe uterus, cause nikikosa kupata matibabu nikifika menopause hiyo itakuwa cervical cancer.
Beatrice says the condition has completely incapacitated her and taken away her ability to provide for her family. She says she has contemplated committing suicide.
Nikaenda nikakaa mahali tu nikaamua mimi leo najimaliza cause nimeona kabisa siwezi toboa tena. Huyu mama ndiye alinipata mahali nilikuwa nimekaa nikilia. Kwa nimeshika kisu hivi akaanza nini nikamwambia mimi nimefika mwisho.
Sasa akanielezea shida yake yote na mimi kama mama msasi na niko na watoto kama hawa nikamuongelesha. Nikamwambia hiyo si suluhisho ya kutuma ujiue.
She added that she currently cannot receive medical treatment using Social Health Authority, and fundraising from family and friends did not yield much.
So imefika mahali nimelemwa na matibabu cause hii kadi ya SHA ukienda outpatient haisimami, wananiambia mpaka nilazwe ward ndio itanisimamia. So imefika mpaka hiyo pesa ya kwenda clinic nimeshindwa. Siwezi jifanyia kazi, kibarua yenye nilikuwa ninafanya imenilemea kabisa. Ningeomba tu mwenye ako na uwezo na anaweza nisaidia, anisaidie nipate matibabu.
Beatrice is now appealing to the well-wishers to help save her life through donating on M-Pesa number 0710 309 719. Name Beatrice Mwangi. For Legends Edition, I am Teresa Mutai.
Farmers in Turkana County are set to benefit from a 28.5 million shillings irrigation scheme under implementation in Lyambila. The project by the national government in partnership with Germany is part of a 2.625 billion shilling drought resilience program in the country geared towards assisting farmers in the region access water from River Turkwell. The State Government Department for Irrigation Principal Secretary Ephantus Kimotho says 60% of the project has been completed and the program is set to be concluded by the end of the fiscal year.
Along the River Taute to resist the desert in Turkana County lies River Turkwell, which has been a source of water for the over 1 million residents residing here. It will now be the lifeline of the Lyambila irrigation scheme in Lodwar.
Kwa sababu sisi hapa tumeumia, hapa shamba yetu tunakaa bure, hakuna maji, hakuna nini, tunakaa hata njaa ndio tunaumisa sisi.
Iko mashamba yetu hapa Changwana hapa mtoni, hakuna, ndio sisi ndio nasumbua sisi watu wa Lodwar, nasema anasikia njaa kwa maana nyika kabla ngine huko, kwa maana hakuna mapundo.
The scheme, which is part of the 1.625 billion shillings allocated to the drought resilience program in the county, has led to the construction of a feeder canal that stretches 4 kilometers.
These canals also are tapping water. Is actually an irrigation infrastructure, tapping water from the river Takwel. Again, that will also be expanding the area and irrigation in that area. The potential for Turkana is so high, mainly by building the water infrastructure. That's why you found you are talking about the boreholes, and also on the irrigation part, you're talking about expanding the irrigation infrastructure.
The 28.5 million shillings project targets farmers in the county who can aid in growing drought-resistant crops in Lokipetort.
At times, we also recognize that once they do the crops, they need to get the crops to the market. And once they have the livestock, there also are times when they need to get the livestock to the market. So it also has a part of it which is market access. Also, it also addresses the issue of domestic water and sanitation. We want the young farmers to form themselves into cooperatives, so that it becomes easier for them to aggregate themselves when they go to the market, so that eventually the program can also be self-sustaining. We are targeting approximately 30,000 people. 30,000 households are the ones who are going to be affected by this project. But there's another additional 9 million euro that we are also getting, which 2 will come to Turkana to make it 15. Then the other 7 will go to Marsabit to make it 15-15.
According to the county government of Turkana, 65% of residents are pastoralists, while only 35% are farmers, a number they hope will increase in the coming years, owing to the adverse effects of climate change.
Those 2 boreholes, one, they're going to be very impactful in terms of, because realize in Turkana, the recharge is very high. Normally, we even get a recharge of 30 cubic per hour. So, and now with an additional storage, those boreholes can easily be used for irrigation. In particular, in the plan we have for Turkana is 100,000 acres. And we are focusing that mainly on, we have Takwel, the Takwel Dam. It has a potential of irrigating 100,000 acres based on the water that is already there in the dam. Lower Dam again will give us will give us approximately 324 million cubic, which will also help us towards irrigation, increasing the area and irrigation in Turkana as well.
The 2.625 billion shilling drought resilience program currently being implemented in Turkana and Marsabit counties is said to benefit 3 million people currently affected by the prolonged drought.
After we get that funding, the next lot will go to Mandera and Wajir, but it's going to extend to almost 15, eventually to almost 15 Asal counties.
The 6-year program, which will be completed in December 2025, seeks to reduce poverty, ensure food security and promote sustainable economic growth among the most drought-hit sectors of the population. Abdiaziz Ashim, Legends Edition.
At the height of banditry attacks in the North Rift in 2022 and 2023, the government formed a multi-agency security team bringing together the Kenya Defence Forces and the National Police Service, among others, to restore peace and order. 2 years later, our reporter Yusuf Farah visited the region from where he filed a story of hope. Here now is the second part of securing the North Rift.
Emboso's primary school in Mukutani, Baringo South Sub-County is the latest school to be renovated by the Kenya Defence Forces. Domiciled here is in one but 2 schools, the Emboso's Primary School and Arabal Secondary School, a situation necessitated by a vandalism incident targeting the secondary school during the period when cases of bandit attacks were on a high.
We lost the solar panels that was supporting to light up the school because it does not be connected with power. And then they destroyed the windows for that school, all the windows. And then they cut the roof. There are some parts. They make a mashimo.
Thanks to the intervention of the KDF, the school has a few new classes constructed and are accommodating the 2 levels of learners. But this has also made enrollment of learners rise significantly to a point of making the space inadequate. Adding salt to injury, the classes have to be converted into dormitories at night to save learners from trekking miles to their homes.
What we'd like to add in the next space, we have got the dining hall and the boarding. That is a dormitory for both boys and girls. And I think we shall be okay.
For parents and grandparents who reside nearby and whose keen learn here, the peace from the Operation Maliza Uhalifu has given them confidence to come back and rebuild their lives after being away for so long.
Ukitembea unasikia mwili haina uoga ile alikuanga naye zamani. Kwa wasasi wenzangu warudi nyumbani. Hapa nyumbani si mbaya vile aliwacha, na wawache uoga, wakuje tu tuishi pamoja tukiendelea kusonga.
Na kama hata wazazi wao waisi wanajua mtoto yangu ni mwizi, mbona asienda kaongeleze mtoto yake na afiche huko kwao, kuliko kutuamukia kuja kutuharibia makao. Tutawanyisha, atujui, tunawacha maendeleo yetu yenye tulikuwa tumeendelea na mzuri sana. Kama tungekuwa kuanzia 2012 hapa tungekuwa hapa, ingekuwa mbali sana.
At the Lomelo Primary School bordering Baringo and Turkana counties, the peace has seen Pokot and Turkana learners coexist and assist one another.
Nakuja mtoto wangu kusoma kafedo. Shule ni mzuri. Mtoto wangu naisaidia mimi hata ngari tapata. Si ni mzuri kuchanganya. Amani ni mzuri, ni tamu.
Na bado tunawakaribisha. Tunataka wengi waje ili wapate kufunzwa.
The Kapindasun Primary School is no different. Numbers have grown to a total of 514 students from 222 last year alone. This of course has brought its own fair share of challenges.
Boys hawana dormitory hata moja. Wanalala kwa hii madarasa. So tunatumia madarasa mchana kuwa darasa na usiku inakuwa ni malazi yetu, tunalala pale. Facilities tuliweka sanitation ya KDF na maajabu ni kwanza tumeanza kujaza juu. Tuko wengi my friend, tumestretch kila kitu.
Kijiji ya Kapindasun kwa saizi tuko na familia 14 ambao wamerejea, na Kapindasun Primary for the first time since it was closed na ikafunguliwa, kwa saizi tuko na at least na watoto day scholars.
Cheptulel Boys High School in West Pokot County is known as the peacemaker for hosting several communities here. The officers have set up camp to ensure 24-hour surveillance as students go about their learning. For them, the safety of these learners is their number one priority. The appreciation for the relative calm is discernible. Under the National Police Service-led multi-agency operation, KDF has renovated classes and other essential structures in schools across the region. With every positive result, however, there is challenges that need urgent addressing.
We had issues with roads, where KDF will construct security roads so that it increases access and even open up this region. We had issues of illiteracy. The youth have not been given opportunity to attend the schools.
Hapa Mugutani imekuwa mbali kwa watoto. Kuna mito watoto hawezi vuka wakati wa mvua na ni mbali. Hivyo hapa tuko huko tukichunga, na maji ni hapa mto anakauka kwa wakati huu.
Operation Maliza Uhalifu Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel Ismail Papa reiterating their soft approach of a kinetic force in calming the unrest in the Northwest. With the first phase of innovations done, several schools have been earmarked for innovations in the days to come, despite some challenges.
In terms of recovery of stolen livestock, we have emphasized on 100% recovery of any stolen livestock, of which we have done successfully.
With the peace being enjoyed courtesy of these uniformed and booted officers, parents and teachers are inspired to play their part in ensuring learners stay in school. The multi-agency Operation Maliza Uhalifu is already registering positive results, with the region experiencing a peaceful environment. KDF is on its part committing to ensuring the peace is long-term and the quest for education is undisturbed. Isufar reporting for KBC Channel 1 in the county of Baringo.
Kupitia
kupitia star 570 hash. Tunakupa nafasi ya kuchomoka na this beautiful Mazda Demio. Enjoy a beautiful, clean, semi-leather interior, low mileage, fuel-efficient 1300cc engine, great for personal use and business. Ukitaka kujishindia gari hii, kucheza ni rahisi sana. Chukua simu yako, bonyeza star 570 hash, chagua option 3. And for only 35 shillings, hii gari inaweza kuwa yako. Kumbuka kucheza mara kadhaa, because the more you play, the higher chances of wewe kuwa mshindi.
Mungu ni mwema, asante Mungu. Ile nitakuwa naendesha hivi.
Dial star 570 hash and make this dream car yours.
Cheza Loto Moto.
About it. When we went there, as we were coming together, the two of us, I told her on the way.
Okay. He asked, what about my letter?
What about my letter? And that was her worry. She said that you are leaving a job which is well paid and you are now joining the ministry. What will happen to us as a family?
Yeah. We quarrel, we disagree a lot. But we come down and we forgive ourselves. And we pray and God helps us to heal.
Your wife is more important than the church. Why? Because the church is the bride of Jesus Christ, not your bride. So I usually tell them, listen, the Bible says that if one does not know how to take care of his own home, how can he take care of the church of Jesus Christ?
Maybe I don't know what love is. Maybe I'm a fool.
Sasa hawajasema kuhusu kutibu.
So hiyo ni kingine kanatokea?
Yeah, kingine kanatokea.
So ziko 4 plus itakuwa 5.
Kukula, hawezi kula kitu yenye ni ngumu. Lazima mtafutie kitu ni nyepesi. Akikula kitu ngumu anasikia maumivu. Sasa zingine hata ana nose bleed.
Naweza waomba mtusaidie juu tumepitia mengi, hatuna pesa, zimeisha juu ya clinic.
Kama ni haja kubwa ama ndogo, nampeleka alafu anakuja hapa. Hawezi tembea.
Always another good evening, and we are on the Legends edition. This is sports segment, and I'm Topi Lyambila. Now, the Kenya Lionesses, the national women's rugby team, are through to the main cup semi-finals after they won all their Pool D matches against Poland and Samoa in the first round of the World Rugby HSBC 7th Challenger in Cape Town, South Africa. They beat Poland 29-7 thanks to tries from Fresha Oduor, who came through twice, Judith Okumu, Stella Wafula and Sinaida Nyachio. The Kenya Lionesses started the day with an impressive 25 victory over Samoa in the opening Pool D match. Captain Grace Okulu led by example to score the first try in the 3rd minute after she missed the conversion. She, however, made up for that in the 8th minute with a second try, where Maria Nicolao reduced the deficit for Samoa with a try immediately after that, but Naomi Amugunis restored Kenya's Lionesses' lead with another try before Grace Okulu sealed the scoreline with a 4th try at the Ation Sports Stadium. The opening 2 rounds of the World Rugby HSBC 7th Challenger 2025 are being held in the Cape Town this weekend, with the second round scheduled for the 7th and 8th of this month in the same city. The top 8 teams from 3 rounds will advance to the 3rd round in Krakow, Poland, the 11th and 12th of the next month. At the end of the 3rd round, the top 4 ranked teams will qualify for the high-stakes HSBC 7th playoff in Los Angeles on the 3rd and 4th of May, where they will compete for a chance at promotion. This is some of the action from South Africa's Cape Town.
Ace player plays for the Savai Queens. Just off the knee.
Now, former World Under-20 champion in the 3,000 meters, Teresia Gateri, roamed to victory in the 1,500 meters at the second AK Betika track and field weekend meet, which concluded today at the Thika Municipal Stadium in Kiambu County. Let's take a look.
Gateri, representing the Central Region, clocked 4 minutes, 24.3 seconds to win the race, 0.1 seconds ahead of KDF's Vivian Chebet and Celestine Jepkosgei, who finished third, posting 4 minutes, 27.1 seconds. Olympian Vivian Chebet claimed victory in 800 meters in 2 minutes and 11 seconds, followed by Venice Kerubo of Police in 2 minutes, 13.6 seconds, 0.4 seconds ahead of third place Jacinta Abese of Prisons. Wilberforce Kones from Police emerged victorious in 3,000 meter steeplechase in 9 minutes, followed by Samuel Kiprop of the National Youth Service 10.5 seconds later, while Brian Bett of North Rift finished third in 9 minutes, 16.1 seconds. KDF's Daniel Chiumbe Munguti was the fastest in the 1500 meters final, stopping the clock in 3 minutes, 44.5 seconds, followed by Mildan Roymet of South Rift in 3 minutes, 53.7 seconds. Elfas Kipkemboi, also from KDF, completed the top 3 in 3 minutes, 58.6 seconds. Boniface Mweresa claimed victory in 100 meters final, stopping the clock in 10.10 seconds, 0.02 seconds ahead of Dennis Mwai and Isaac Omurwa, who finished second and third respectively, as the Commonwealth champion Ferdinand Omanyala failed to turn up for today's final. Other big names skipped the thicker meet, with action now shifting to Ulinzi Sports Complex between the 13th and 15th of this month before the start of the relay season. The track and field season will culminate with the national trials to select Team Kenya for the 20th World Athletics Championships to be held at the Nyayo National Stadium from the 26th to 28th of June this year.
Now, 6 refugee judo players competed in the Japanese Ambassadors Cup held today at the Kasarani Gymnasium in Nairobi. The 6 were part of the 239 players that registered for the one-day tournament, which was graced by the Japanese ambassador to Kenya, Matsura Hiroshi. Our KBC crew was on hand to file the following report.
The Kenya Judo Federation, in collaboration with the Japanese Embassy, have rolled out a schools and refugees program that will see the sport being introduced and played in all schools and refugee camps in the country.
The judo is a great symbol of sport exchange between Kenya and Japan, and that will nurture and develop the friendship between the two countries further. So that fact will remain, and that fact will be the source of the cooperation between the two countries for long-lasting time.
Kakuma refugee camp was the first to have the sport introduced, and today 6 of its players competed at the Japanese Ambassadors Cup at the Kasarani Stadium.
We need to have this judo played in all schools in this country. So we are starting a program called Judo for Schools program, just the way we have just started Judo for Peace program in the refugee camps. It is taken off. In Kakuma, judo is being played. Now we want every school in this country to be playing judo, because judo is our way of life. It teaches so much in life. So we want our children to grow with that discipline, so that they can be able to look after themselves, they look after the others, and that's how you grow a society.
In the cadets category, Benson Harun won the 50 kgs title. Kevin Onganya won the 55 kgs gold medal, while John Ouko was the champion in the 60 kgs event. In the junior category, Abel Mogusu won the 60 kgs category. Mika Shitali was crowned champion of the 66 kgs. Brandon Wandera won gold in the 73 kgs category, while Richard Suni won the 81 kilograms category.
Of course, the judo is very fierce fighting game. So it is a clash of energies. So the young judo athletes of the Kenya, I hope they will open the full throttle of their energies and to demonstrate their best strength through the matches.
In the men's seniors, Dennis Mwangi won the 100 kgs plus gold. Robinson Samora won the under 100 kgs gold, while Brian Otieno won the 90 kgs gold medal. Judith Akinyi won the 78 kgs and over category. Olympian Zedi Cherotich won the under 78 kgs category, while Mary Njeri won the 70 kgs title. Other winners included Kimberly Okwisa, Grace None, Sharon Ndunge and Lea Kangete.
Kenya is climbing up the ladder of the strength in the international judo, and that is very, very promising, and we are encouraged by seeing it. We want to be encouraged forever.
The Japanese Ambassadors Cup was being held a day after the completion of a 2-day referees and coaches seminar that was held at the Kasarani Gymnasium.
Now, darts has been quite on the quiet front, but we have a big story here, where darts player Peter Washiuri, made history by becoming the first Kenyan to make the final of the Modus Super Series after topping Group C last night with 16 points. From the volleyball scene, defending champions Pipeline women's team recorded yet another victory at the CAVB Kenya's Africa Zone 5 Club Championships when they beat KCB in Cuba 3-1. Pipeline won the first 2 sets 25-16 and 25-12 before slipping in the third set at 23-25 to register their third victory. Back at home, GSU had their best outing in the KVF Men's League as they defeated KDF in 3 straight sets. GSU won the first set 25-21 before securing the second set 25-22. They avoided going into the fourth set by winning the third set by 25-18 for the win. NYS also recorded a deserved win today, beating Base Yetu 3-1, 25-22, 20-25, 25-14 and 25-16. The victorious results was replicated by APK, who defeated Prisons Rift 3-1. Wakanda were the highest scorers of the match day 22 of this season's National Handball League, which resumed last weekend after 2 months break. Wakanda outclassed Thika Engineers 33-17 in one of the 6 matches played today at the Kaloleni grounds here in Nairobi.
Xavier Omasaja and Abdul Hakim scored 8 goals each to guide Wakanda to a much-deserved 33-17 victory over Thika Engineers in Game 3 of today's Handball League matches at the Kaloleni grounds. Newton Wanjala and Anan Wafula added 5 goals each to the scoreline as Wakanda dominated the game, where they restricted Engineers to just 17 goals. It was the second game for Wakanda, who needed the victory after playing to a 22-22 draw with Hunters in their first game of the day at the same venue. Xavier Masaja once again scored 8 goals in that game against Hunters, with Abdul Hakim adding 4 goals. Edward Wanyonyi was the best scorer for Hunters with 5 goals. In other matches played today, Bungoma Poly narrowly defeated Young City 27-25. Kenyatta University lost 31-37 to Lions, while in the women's matches, Bungoma Poly drew 30-30 with NYS as Kenyatta University defeated NYS 29-28. The league continues tomorrow.
Nairobi City Thunder have been pulled in the Nile Conference of the Basketball Africa League BAL, which is set to be held from the 17th to the 25th of May this year at the BK Arena in Kigali. City Thunder will face off with Al Ahil Tripoli, APR Rwanda, and South Africa's MBB. Let's take a listen.
The 5th edition of the championship also consists of 2 other conferences, Kalahari and Sahara, made up of 4 teams each. The Kalahari Conference, which will tip off the championship, is scheduled from the 5th to 13th of April in Rabat, Morocco. The Kalahari Conference includes Egyptian side Al Ittihad, Faith Union Sport of Morocco, Stade du Malien of Mali, and Nigeria's Rivers Hoopers. The Sahara Conference, whose matches will be played in Dakar, Senegal from 26th of April to 4th of May, will see host club ASC Villa take on Creole Star of Cape Verde, defending champions Petro de Luanda, and US Monastery of Tunisia. Each conference will play a 12-game group phase, during which each team will face the other 3 teams in its conference twice. Thereafter, 8 teams from across the 3 conferences will travel to Pretoria for the playoffs and finals, scheduled from 6th to 14th of June this year. Bernard Okumu, Legends Edition.
Jet A1. Cheza Aviator bila data bila credo. Dial *892# for instant takeoff. Pepea bila pressure kucrash au kucash out. Aviator bila data. Aviator bila credo. Uko na kabambe? Wewe pia ni rubani mnoma. Dial *892#. Jet A1. Michezobet.com. Cheza kwa kuwajibika. Kushiriki ni miaka 18 au zaidi. BCLB license number 0000664.
Seduce me 'cause I do cherish you. She's a sparrow when she's broke. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me.
Thank you for staying with us on the KBC Legends Edition this Saturday evening. Now, from FKF Premier League, Posta Rangers moved out of the relegation zone in the FKF Premier League matches after securing a 2-1 victory over KCB Nairobi at the SportPesa Arena. The win propelled them from the 16th to the 13th position in the league standings. Elsewhere, Sofapaka FC were held to a 1-1 draw by Mara Sugar at Dandora Stadium as Talanta FC dropped into the relegation zone after suffering a 1-0 defeat to Bidco FC at Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos. Nairobi City Stars edged their to Ulinzi with a 1-0 win. 3 matches are scheduled for tomorrow, where Shabana FC will face Kakamega Homeboys, Bandari FC tackle Tusker FC, and Muranga Seal FC will square it off against Mathare United. Kenya Police currently lead the league standings with 41 points, 1 ahead of Tusker FC. Defending champions Gor Mahia sit in 3rd position with 36 points. The Kenya Academy of Sports Football trials entered their penultimate stage today, with aspiring footballers taking part in a series of friendly matches. The trials, which are being spearheaded by Kenyan football coaches, are meant to identify and nurture talent. Let's take a look.
The girls' teams and soccer teams played friendly matches lasting 30 minutes each as coaches intensified the efforts of finding new soccer stars under the watchful eyes of Kenyan coaches as well as visiting foreign scouts. The players took their chances, hoping to impress and be selected. The coaches looked out for tactical awareness and ball handling skills among the players who were also drawn from the Junior Starlets team, KAS team from Costa Durada Cup and Talanta Hela. Meanwhile, the exercise was also held in Navaholo, Kakamega County, where 40 upcoming volleyballers were scouted. The 40 include 20 girls and 20 boys, all under the age of 20, and will be trained by the Kenya Academy of Sports.
Watoto wa mzazi wetu tena wa hapa Navaholo. Jukumu litakuwa la management ya academy ambayo wanaenda ndani kujifundisha viatu, nguo za kuvaa, mipira ambayo watatumia kucheza na vyombo vyote vya kutumia katika mchezo huo wa volleyball. Itakaramika na serikali ya Kenya. Kwa hivyo nasema ni jambo ambalo tunasema how do you spend the money? Unatumia pesa namna gani? Lazima utafute useme hawa ndio ambao tunatumia pesa ya umma kwao. Kwa hivyo ni nafasi ya kipekee ambapo watu wangu wa Navaholo wamepata na bila shaka wataweza kufaidika.
Tunahamasisha vijana kutokea shirika la ADAC kila wakati, na tunahakikisha vijana kwamba tunawaeleza ili wakae na the natural strength ili kwamba wasiende mbali alafu wapatikane na madawa. So we use ADAC, which is an organization within the Ministry of Sports, to make sure that hawa vijana wamesikia hayo maneno.
On the back boxing elections, Anthony Otieno Umbok has retained his seat as the president of the Boxing Federation of Kenya following the national elections held at Kasarani today. where 12 officials who are vying for the executive committee positions went in unopposed. Lydia Kinyua is the new first vice president after serving as the assistant treasurer, while Crispin Onyango is the second vice president. David Munuhe Kritu has retained his seat as the secretary general, and he will be assisted by Joseph Ocheng Otieno, who was formerly a member of BFK. Benjamin Moses Oyombi is still the treasurer, and he will be assisted by former member Gladys Musavi. John Waweru Wangai retained his seat as from the tennis scene, the Nairobi Club tennis clay court today witnessed electrifying matches as top young tennis players from across Africa competed in the ITF CAT 14 and Under African Junior Championship. In the boys' finals, Kamil Razali of Morocco showcased his ability to bounce back after he overcame his fierce competitor Mohamed Genoudi of Egypt with a score of 2-6, 6-1, 6-4 after a challenging first set. In another thrilling boys' match, Victoria Laglo of Cameroon demonstrated his exceptional talent on the court by securing a 6-4, 6-1 win against his competitor Avio Andranina of Madagascar. Now, it's 9 years since the International Olympic Committee allowed the refugee team to compete independently at the Olympic Games for the first time in the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Summer Games. Since 2016, refugee athletes have competed in 3 editions of the Olympic Games, which include the 2020 and 2024 Games, as well as in the World Athletics Championships. Refugee athletes will be competing in the Youth Olympics in Dakar, Senegal, next year for the first time, which will also be the first Olympic event in Africa, as Dismas Otuke reports.
Majority of the athletes in the refugee team, which has since grown to over 100, are from the Kakuma refugee camp in northern Kenya. IOC has developed athlete support programs at the refugee camps where talented refugees get scholarships and specialized training. That's why they conducted the Youth Olympics trials at the Lona Kiplagat High Altitude Training Stadium in Iten last month. While many of the sportsmen and women at the northern Kenya-based refugee camp of Kakuma are track athletes, some have also specialized in judo and taekwondo, with each having a dream of one day competing at the global event. Perina Lokure, a South Sudanese-born athlete who competes in 800 meters, made her career breakthrough when she made her debut at the 2024 Paris Olympics. The 22-year-old fled her country when she was just 7 years old and sought refuge at the Kakuma with her aunt before she was later joined by her mother at the refugees camp.
Mimi nilianza mbio. Kwanza nilicheza basketball na football. Sasa niliona my colleague wanakimbia kwa uwanja wetu huko Kakuma. Sasa nauliza, sasa mnakimbia kila siku, mbio inamaanisha nini kweli?
Amdullah Ali Zada is a taekwondo refugee athlete at the Kakuma who fled the segregation of his Hazara community in Afghanistan. He arrived at the Kakuma in 2017, having represented Afghanistan in many international taekwondo championships.
In 2019, I arrived to Kakuma refugee camp.
Unfortunately, in back my country, I have been having security problems. It's happened 2015, has been attack on me, also 2018. Also, I was member of national team of my country, but I myself decided to leave the country because insecurity.
Omdula's main focus is on the Los Angeles Olympic Games in 2028 and is among the beneficiaries of the IOC scholarship program.
A new world competition, international competition for Kakuma, for those are refugees in Kenya. This is my wish to get medals. And we refugees in Kakuma, be proud, one day proud of me, I will get the medals.
NOC President Dr. Paul Tergat regards the program as the best exposure opportunity for the refugee athletes in nurturing their talents.
We really want maybe to keep them dignity. Why we are organizing this event is to give them a validation also that they are human beings, they are our brothers and sisters, and that is why we are actually working to see to it that we create opportunities for these guys to explore and develop their talents in sports. And this is very important to all of us.
Athletics Kenya has collaborated with the IOC, NOC, and the UNHCR to ensure athletes at the refugee camps are properly trained for the future events, including the 2025 World Athletics Championships. AK has attached former 800 meters world champion Janet Jepkosgei and former 800 meters runner Japhet Kimtai to the team. Jepkosgei, famously known as Eldoret Express, shares her experience coaching the refugee team.
So they are now coming to meet together. Then we select a team that will go to the World Championships in Tokyo because they have been accepted to go and compete there, and then also prepare them for the Los Angeles Games in 2028, Olympic Games in 2028.
IOC project manager in charge of athletes unit Gonzalo Barrio reaffirmed the IOC's commitment to support the refugee athletes ahead of the international championships.
In the past we had between 8 athletes. We had 8 athletes who were supported here with the Refugee Athlete Scholarship based in Kenya. So we're looking at more or less a similar number. But we're including on top of that the young athletes that we will be supporting towards Dakar. So potentially more than a dozen athletes will be supported.
For Legend Sports, my name is Dismas Otuke.
And that is a wrap from my side of the pool table. And remember to be with us again next Saturday for another edition of the Legends Sports and News on Saturday evening on KBC Channel 1. Remember that also after this, we shall have a Rumba show. But for now, I hand you over to my colleague Fayyaz Qureshi to wrap it up. I'm Topi Lyambila.
Thank you very much, Topi Lyambila, for the latest from the world of sports. Right, the holy month of Ramadan has begun. On behalf of the management and staff of KBC Channel 1, I would like to wish all Muslim faithful a very happy Ramadan Mubarak. And that's all from our newsroom. I am Fayyaz Qureshi. Our sign language interpreter for tonight's edition was Byron Abudi. Have a good night.
Inua Jamii, karibu nawe kwa haraka na urahisi. Kwa sasa, malipo ya Inua Jamii yanapatikana moja kwa moja kupitia simu ya mkononi. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako kwa niaba ya Wizara ya Leba na Huduma za Jamii.
Inuka na Loto Moto sasa kwa *570# option ya 4 kuna kashamba juja na nika 50 by 100 worth 1.7 million Kenyan shillings. Na hii si shamba tu, iko kwa prime location, few minutes from Juja Town. Stima yako iko ndani, na kama ni development rapid and so promising. Na mambo ya landlord, mwisho wa mwanzo ni hapa. Ukishinda hili shamba tunakuongeza kucheza 1 million Kenyan shillings ujijengee nyumba yako kwa shamba yako. Kuinuka na Loto Moto ni kucheza sasa hivi kupitia *570# option ya 4 au register deposit na ucheze sasa hivi kwa www.tushinde.com na ujishindie shamba hili na addition of 1 million Kenyan shillings. Inuka na Loto Moto.
In the name of Jesus Christ, Mungu anatarajia ukanyange hatua mbele. Wengine wametawaliwa na uchawi, wakati wao umefika. Wewe umenitazama siku ya leo. Neema na kibali cha Bwana kikawe juu ya maisha yako.
My name is DJ D, and on the ones and twos is
DJ Leo.
We bring you the best of African entertainment.
From Afrobeat to Amapiano.
Daddy, me I want to party.
Genge to bongo.
Rusha mikono kama unaona uko tipsy. Rusha mikono kama maisha iko fiti.
And Zouk to Kwaito.
With me for party. And not only that, anything juicy in the entertainment industry, we give it to you. Catch us every Sunday from 2:30 to 4 p.m.
Only on KBC Channel 1.
Ima na wendo mwingi tukikuthokia Embu County, the land of opportunities. Kambunene ya Ngemi FM, mushi worata.
Twegagure na kamwetha kama vyumeto. Muroro kiande, tukunye maire na murori, tuthie thokore, besa mivukore cha.
Manje makiyara uranje mure cietu cia thitima na ronje rwathagana nyamu cia kithaka igitugemeria bururi wetu wa mbere Embu County. Ngemi FM tikuo muno tukianirira na mugambo munene. Eno ni
Ngemi FM,
musie wa urata.
Eno ni nyumba nene musie wa urata.
Ngemi FM 103.5. Jet A1, cheza avieta bila data bila credo. Dial *892# for instant takeoff. Pepea bila pressure kucrash au kucash out. Avieta bila data, avieta bila credo. Uko na kabambe, wewe pia ni rubani mnoma. Dial *892#. Jet A1, michezobet.com. Cheza kwa kuwajibika. Kushiriki ni miaka 18 au zaidi. BCLB license number 0000664.
Ala wakajua mbele tui wakajua mbano yako nukumakelela munetisto kwiko nkwatu kulikwimba nkunde mbangu tufu kudibana bashenda mayenga bane nambu bashenda makwamu bachoka kasikile eyi wakwetu ngimbekele eyi wakwetu nyimbe waluga wakwe mabayenda nabo isambo modu ya yamatani la kwetu kumayamu